Hi, everybody. This is Joan Stewart, the Publicity Hound. I am here with Danny Eny, one of my absolute favorite internet marketers. I have been following Danny for probably, I want to say the last 3 years, and I have promoted several of Danny's courses that teach internet marketers how to be a whole lot smarter than they are right now. And I got to tell you, my publicity hounds love this guy. After his last launch, I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to email him and say, Danny, how do you do these launches? How do you create these courses? I wish I had the blueprint. And lo and behold, I then see him offering Course Builders Laboratory, and I don't know if I'm the only one who has suggested this or if he's gotten some ideas from other people, but I asked Danny if he would do this recording with me today because I've got some questions about this course that I think you might have, and I'll tell you right now, I am buying into this today, and I'm not going to assume that you've got all your questions answered, so without further ado, I want to introduce you to Danny Eny. Danny, thanks so much for being here.
Joan, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be doing this interview. I'm excited to be in front of your Publicity Hound community again. And we've known each other for years. We've done a lot of stuff together, and I'm just grateful for knowing you for all these years. It's been fun. I'm looking forward to continuing to be fun for a long time to come.
Okay, let's start with I've got about, maybe 8 or so questions here, and I'm just going to go along. And Danny has not seen these questions beforehand, okay? So the first one, give me a list, Danny, of the types of people who are perfect candidates for this course. For example, certainly consultants, but who else? What kinds of people who people might not think off the top of their heads would be great candidates for this course?
Absolutely. So anyone who's a consultant, who's a coach, who is a service professional, someone who maybe is an author in the nonfiction space, anyone who has an expertise, and that is what allows them to bring value into the world. And maybe it's in a very direct trading time for money, dollars per hour kind of way. Excuse me. Maybe they're writing books, but if you have an expertise, if you know something that other people would benefit from knowing, you can take that and package it into an education product, whether it's a course or it could also be, an ebook or a membership site or a community, and we teach you how to do all of those things. The focus is on courses because you're going to do the best there, in my opinion. Anywhere where you've got a knowledge or expertise that you want to bring to the market in a scalable and leveraged way. I wouldn't recommend this course for someone who is looking to sell, let's say, fiction or jewelry or stuff like that. Some of the ideas we teach can certainly be applied to those markets. I've applied this process even to sell software, but it's designed primarily for people who want to build education products, which are courses, ebooks, membership sites, communities, etc.
Okay, super. So I saw on your sales page that one community that you recommend are artists who are teaching other people either how to sell their artwork or how to do painting or whatever. What about people like musicians? A lot of musicians are selling to other musicians ways to do this, ways to grow your business. Would they be good candidates too?
I think absolutely. If you have an inside track on how to grow a musician's business, that's something there are a ton of musicians out there who would love to know and would be happy to pay for. You could also teach your skills as a musician. I'll give an example. I knew a guy early in my online marketing career. His name was Paul, and he ran a website that teaches people how to play bass guitar, which seems pretty niche, pretty random and specific, right?
Yeah.
But he was raking in 6 figures, teaching people how to play bass guitar, creating the occasional video, and putting it online. And it all comes down to he knew something that other people wanted to know.
Okay, good. What about people who have an expertise, Danny, but have not created a product yet? Would they be good candidates for this course, or is this the type of thing where they should just hold off on this until after they create the product?
Oh, that's a great question. The answer is absolutely not. I want to emphasize this course is not, we don't just teach you how to sell a course. We teach you how to build a course that people want to buy. And that includes how to sell it. We teach you the marketing. We teach you how to scale it up and all that. But very importantly, we teach you how to start at the very beginning with an idea. Make sure it's the right idea, the idea people are going to want to pay you for. Get them to pay you for it before you've built it so you know you're on the right track and you have money in the bank to allow you to do this project effectively. If you already have a product and it's not selling, then you can sign up for this course and we may be able to help you, but that help is probably going to mean going back to the drawing board and figuring out, what is it that people want? What is the need that you're not properly addressing? It's a bit of a tangent, but I just want to, I'll talk about this because I think it's important. All business basically boils down to two things. There's traffic and there's conversion, right? More people coming to your offer is traffic, and then of those people, how many buy it, that's conversion. And most people think they have a traffic problem when actually there hardly ever is a traffic problem. Most traffic problems are conversion problems in disguise. Because if people are buying your offer, people see your offer and they're like, yes, here's my wallet, I want it, then you can always get traffic. You can pay for traffic by running ads. You can get it indirectly by having joint venture partners promote you and paying a commission, or very indirectly by doing the stuff that brings quote-unquote free traffic, like publicity work, but it takes your time and your energy, right?
Yes.
Or somebody else's time and energy. So if conversions are good, you can always get more traffic. The problem is that most people's conversions are not good. They're selling something that people fundamentally don't want. And that's what we teach you how to fix. We also teach you how to do the marketing and reach the people and all that. But the first step is designing an offer that people are just going to go crazy to want to buy.
I'm so happy that you gave this answer because I think some people listening to this are a little bit like me, and I fall into this trap. I have an idea for a great product, one single product, and I'm going to sell it for $49.95, okay? When in reality, this product can be turned into a full-fledged course where I can up the price point tremendously, and if I do it right, make a killing, right?
Absolutely. Not only that, but make a sustainable killing. And there's a big difference there because, you can have an offer that you dress up with pretty marketing and get a lot of people to buy, and then they download it and they save it on their hard drive and they forget about it, or it comes in the mail and they put it on a shelf and they don't look at it again, or it's a course and they've gone through lesson 1 of 16 and they don't come back to it. But that means you're not going to get good case studies, you're not going to get testimonials, their refund requests are going to be very high, and you're not going to sell it again. If you build something that it's exactly what people want, they're super excited, and they get great results from it, and that's what we teach you how to do, then you're going to make a killing when you sell it. But then 3 months later, you'll sell it again. And 6 months later, you'll sell it again. And you're going to make a killing each and every time.
Perfect. Danny, how is the course delivered? Is it delivered through live webinars, or is it delivered through recordings that we can watch when it's most convenient for us?
It's recordings, and I want to explain why. So I'm a big fan of delivering content through webinars if it's pilot content. Right? If I've never delivered this course before and I'm doing a pilot, which is what we did back in the summer to kind of make sure we were on the right track, in that situation, doing it live is great because it takes a lot less of your time and energy to prepare. But also you're there in the moment. When people have questions, you can answer them. When people get stuck, you can kind of adjust your delivery. So it's great if you're just figuring this out for the first time. Once you've figured out exactly what people need to hear and in what order and where they're going to get stuck so you can fix it, at that point, you don't want to give people a recording of like a 90-minute webinar that they don't have time to go through. You want to take your notes and create a really good, high-quality, condensed video lesson, which is going to be more like 20 minutes long, where you can go through it, get all of the information out of it, and do it quickly. And sure, you can watch it again. It's available to you, for as much as you want, but it makes sure that you're going to be able to absorb the ideas in the most effective way, and it means that you can kind of do it in a way that's effective with the use of your time. You're not going to waste an hour and a half going through this thing that's like long and rambly and, somebody stumbling with his microphone and, all that kind of stuff. It's clean, it's direct, it's to the point, and you get what you need out of it. If you've got an hour and a half to go through it, it's because you're just so enthralled you want to go through it like 4 times.
Beautiful. I like the recordings personally because I can listen to them at my leisure, and a lot of times I don't have time to do that during the day, but I can do it later at night when there's nobody calling and emailing, and then I can go back and watch it again. if I need reinforcement. So thank you
Mhm.
for that. What if I have viewed a lesson and I need help or I don't understand something? How do we get help?
Okay, so first of all, it's not if, it's when. Because if you're learning something that is real and substantial, let's be real. You're going to have questions. You are going to need help at some
Okay.
point. That's the reality of learning anything that is non-trivial. And we take that commitment, the commitment to provide you with that help, very, very seriously. Something that I don't talk about this a lot publicly, but there's a difference in the way that most of this industry works and the way I see my business. And that is most internet marketers, they see themselves as information publishers, right? They create something, it's an ebook, it's a course, it's a whatever it is. They create it, you buy it, and that's where their responsibility ends. I mean, if you walk into a bookstore, you buy a book, you take it home, the author doesn't owe you any more than the book, and read it and hopefully enjoy it. I don't see my business that way. I don't see myself as an information publisher. I see myself as running a school. When you enroll in a school, the school does have a responsibility to help you learn things. And so every person who signs up for this program gets a dedicated success mentor on my team. That's someone on my team. There are 5 people who work for me full-time who I've hired and trained personally. They know this material inside and out. One of them will be your dedicated success mentor who will get to know you and your business, who will answer all of your questions, who will be there to support you.
Perfect.
And that's for as long as you need.
Perfect. Excellent. Danny, I have 2 ideas for courses I'd like to offer based on interviews I did with my own followers back in the spring. Now, I told you I'm buying into your course. Should I use your course to start from scratch and not assume that what those people told me is really what they're going to actually buy?
The answer to that is yes, but. So the fact that you gathered all that information from people is great. The problem with asking people these questions is that people aren't good at judging what they really want or need. And it makes sense if you think about it. I mean, if someone has a desperate problem and you ask them, what would you like to buy to solve this problem? If they could give you an easy answer, they probably would have bought it already, right? I mean, they would have gone out and solved it. So there's some detective and analysis work that you have to do. I mean, there's the classic, Henry Ford quote. Henry Ford, who started the Ford Motor Company, said, if I'd asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. So asking those questions, it's great. It's really good to ask those questions, but you've got to know which questions to ask and, very importantly, how to analyze that data. And we teach you both of these things. So what you'll do probably is you'll go through the course, and this is going to be pretty early on. This will be on the first module. You're going to look at the questions you asked and see, are these the right questions? Are these going to give me the right answers? And if they are, you're just going to use our processes to evaluate the answers and make sure that you're kind of taking it in the right way and drawing the right conclusions. And if not, you might want to do a new survey. Now, I do want to emphasize that doing a survey requires that you have a larger number of respondents. So you need an email list or you need to run ads to feed the survey, but that's not the only way to gather this insight. So anyone who's listening to this, if you don't have a mailing list, that's fine. There are lots of other ways to get people to give you this information of what is it that they want.
Okay, I doubt that Steve Jobs at one point asked people what they wanted, and they said, you know what, I think I need an iPod, or I think I need an iPhone.
Well,
I don't
Steve
think that
Jobs has a
happened.
famous quote, and what he said is that it's not people's job to tell you what they want. It's your job as the entrepreneur to tell them. Now, there's some truth to that. There's also some egomania to that, frankly.
Yeah.
But there's something to that, and it's the idea that, yes, of course, you have to give people something they're going to want. You can't just impose your will on the market. That never works. But you do have to have some insight to understand what it is they want without people just spelling it out for you, because that's usually not going to happen.
Okay. You said that the Course Builders Laboratory is designed after the same process that you use on 2 other very, very successful launches. Now, I love a lot of things about your courses, but I especially love your sales pages because I was not even 1/3 of the way through your page and you already convinced me to buy into the course. What if somebody is on the fence about buying this course because they think they can't write good sales copy like you can? Will the course help them do this?
That's a really great question, and the answer is yes, it will, but I wouldn't worry about it. Because in point of fact, when you're offering something that just people really want, you don't have to be a brilliant copywriter. Our sales page, I mean, I'll be completely honest, I don't think it's that good. I mean, it's okay. You know, it tells a bit of a story and it explains what it is, but mostly it's just saying, you know, here's what we created and here's how it came about and here's what it is. And if you have a good story, if you have good answers to say, what did you create and why did you create it and what does it include, people are going to want to buy it. So the copywriting thing, it requires a lot more, you know, artistry and brilliance when it's selling a crappy product. And we teach you how to solve that problem.
Okay.
So, like, yes, we'll teach you how to do that, but I wouldn't worry about it too much anyway.
Okay, good. Danny, what are some other skills people might not have that you will be teaching?
There's a lot. So we talked about kind of analyzing and gathering what is it that the market wants to buy from you. We talked about the the selling and the pre-selling skills. You know, selling something before it exists yet is kind of an art. And we teach people how to do it very, very effectively. We've done it very successfully, and we've sold hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of products before they existed. Another thing that we teach that is kind of often overlooked, it's not as sexy, but it's some core ideas around instructional design, which is about how do you build an education product, whether it's an e-course or an e-book or a membership site or whatever, that will create good outcomes for people. Because most courses or trainings that teach you how to build something to sell and sell it, they kind of gloss over the building the product part of it, right? They just talk about, oh yeah, well, just turn on a flip camera and, you know, record yourself talking into your iPhone and you know, that's your course. Or, you know, do a few webinars and just do the recordings and throw them in a members area. And those are terrible learning experiences. Those are courses and products that at the end of the day, people are not going to get all the way through. They're not going to get results from. They're going to ask for a lot of refunds, and you're not going to have a lot of repeat buyers or referral business. So your business is kind of dead in the water. And that's where you see a lot of these kind of trends in the online marketing world where, you know, Guru X comes out with a great, giant, huge new product, and then 6 months later they're launching a different giant, huge new product because they know they're never going to be able to sell that first one again. And this prevents that from happening. So we don't go, the goal here is not to make you, you know, an expert on education or instructional design. We do teach you the little minimum that you need to know to do it well to make your products really good and effective.
Excellent. Go ahead.
I was just going to add, and then once you've figured out what people want, you've created your offer, you've pre-sold it, you've delivered a great pilot, then we talk about that last step, which is, okay, you've sold an effective pilot. How do you scale that into a whole business that is driven by successful education products?
Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You just listed 7 things that a lot of people don't know how to do. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to get started. Does the process that you're going to be taking us through, Danny, require any outsourcing, or can people buying this course pretty much do everything you're teaching on their own?
They can do it all on their own. If you can put in, you know, 10 to 20 hours a week sort of thing, then that's plenty and you should be fine. And we actually we guarantee results in this program. We have a make money guarantee. If you aren't making money within 60 days, more than the cost of the program, then someone on my team will get on the phone with you personally to talk about what's going on, figure out what the problem is, and get you back on track.
Excellent. So I'm going to scratch that question about guarantees off of my list. Okay.
And since you mentioned guarantees, we also have the standard, 30 days. If you don't like it, get your money back, etc. But I think that's a wimpy guarantee. So
yeah.
Make money in 60 days is a little more serious.
Okay, perfect. How much of a time commitment will people buying this course actually need to get through the course?
10 to 20 hours a week for the first 2 months should be plenty. And that's not to review it. That's like to do the work.
Okay, to review and do, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
Excellent. Okay.
Just the lessons are not that much. A lesson is, 20, 30 minutes.
That's it?
They're short. I mean, we've got 20 lessons. It's not a trivial amount of content. But part of the art of a really good educational experience is helping you understand a lot without wasting a lot of your time.
Okay, that's excellent. Okay, I want you to step up to the plate, and I want you to knock this one out of the park, okay?
Let's do it.
Give me your very best reason why my publicity hounds need your course.
It's going to make their lives better. That's what it comes down to. And not only is it going to make their lives better, it's going to make their lives better by making the lives of other people better. It's going to allow them to reach more people, create more of an impact, and generate a scalable and leveraged income for themselves. And the results you see with this process can be pretty spectacular. I'll share with you an example of, this is a friend of mine, and he followed, he's one of the people I talked to kind of gather insights as I was building this program. He followed basically this exact process. He had a list of just a few hundred people when he started this out. And he was kind of feeling his way through. It's not like he had this course to follow. He just, kind of did it. And reached out to those few hundred people, and within 60 days, he had sold a pilot offer that made $30,000. And that sounds pretty cool, right? But that's just the beginning. And I might be fudging these numbers a little bit because I don't remember them all in my head, but they're all true, give or take a few $1,000s. So he sells $30,000 worth of his product, his pilot offer, which is pretty cool. But on the back of that, and he's not a pushy, aggressive sales guy, just from people reaching out and saying, hey, this is great, can you also coach me? He sold another $35,000 in coaching services. So, okay, this is starting to look really cool. But this was just the pilot. Within 9 months, he had sold another $100,000 worth of product and another $250,000 in coaching services.
Oh, my.
And this is obviously that's a very successful, impressive case study, and we actually have an interview with him where he talks through exactly everything that he did. But, maybe your results will be less impressive. Maybe your results will be, the first time that I did this process, I only made $5,000 on the pilot and about $110,000 on the product in the first year. So, if that's and I'm not going to say it's a worst case scenario, but hey, we guarantee results. We guarantee that you will be making money within 60 days.
But since that launch that you just talked about, you learned a lot of stuff along the way, right? On how to.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure. That was like 3 years ago. Since then, I've made a couple $1 million following the same process.
Perfect.
But that's we're talking about what people can expect at the very beginning.
What do you think is going to be the biggest factor that will hold people back from pressing that buy now button?
That's a great question. And a lot of that comes down to their kind of internal gremlins around, this sounds cool, but I'm afraid that it might not work. And they shouldn't be, because we guarantee results. We're there to support them. Maybe they're afraid that it will work, right? Maybe they're afraid that they will be successful and it's going to change their life in a way that they're not ready for. And people need to think about that. Making a lot of money online is great, but it's not about the money. It's about the impact you're going to make on other people. And you've got to actually be excited about that. You've got to think about, is this something that you really want to do? So, there are a lot of reasons why people might be afraid, but it all comes down to, the reason that you have to. It's all about making an income by making an impact. There's a quote that I love, and I don't know the attribution. I don't know who said it. I did some searching online and I couldn't find it. But the quote is beautiful. It says that your life is your message to the world, so you should make it inspiring. And that's what we empower you to do through this course. So if that's something that people listening to this care about, and they want to make an income, but do it by making an impact, this is the way to do it, and we're here to support you in getting there.
Okay, tell us about the 2 payment options, which I really like, because a lot of times you don't have a whole chunk of money up front to commit to something. So tell us about those options.
Absolutely. So the base option is 6 monthly payments of $397. So $400 a month. You can get started right away for $397, less than $400. And you will be making more than the value of the course, which is a little more than $2,000 within 60 days. If you've got money to spend up front and that's not a cash flow is not an issue for you, you can pay $1,997 right now up front, which means you're going to save $385 on the total cost of the course, and you're also going to be entitled to an hour-long one-on-one call with me, which would cost $500 as just a little bonus.
Okay, but so you have to do the one payment to get the 1 hour, right?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. All right. In my reporter days, when I was interviewing somebody, when I get to the end of the interview, I would ask them this question. So I'm going to ask you the same question. What question do you wish I had asked you during this interview that I didn't?
It's a tough question because you are an experienced reporter and you asked a lot of good ones. Honestly, I don't know. You asked a ton of really great questions.
Okay, I wanted to give you the option. Now, if people are still on the fence, because quite possibly I did not ask the question they are thinking of asking right now, what should they do?
They should go to, you've got a link under wherever you're going to be posting this audio, so they should click on that link, check out the page where there's a lot of information about what the course includes and what they're going to get. And there's going to be a little chat box on the bottom right-hand corner. And that chat is not staffed by, salespeople or by, a team in India that I've never met or anything like that.
Yep.
The people who man that chat are the people who are the student advisors in our course. And so you can just get on there and ask anything you want about the course of the actual people who will be supporting you in your success through the course.
I love this, and I hope that this is maybe something you're going to be teaching us how to do as part of the course, maybe?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Part of the beauty is that if there's a little detail that maybe is not covered in the course, just ask your student advisor and they'll tell you.
Perfect. I always check the links before I send out email blasts to my people. And as I was checking the link the other night, I was on this page. I think within 15 seconds, this box popped up, and there was Megan Doherty asking me if I had any questions. And this is super, super customer service, and I really appreciate it. So, okay, Publicity Hounds, I am in. So join me if you have an inkling that you have got a message that needs to go out there to the world. Don't rely on your own brain to make it happen, because you and I combined don't even have a fraction of the experience, and we've not made the really valuable mistakes that Danny has made, doing this. I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes, but I have not done them on major launches. Danny has done them on major launches, and now he knows how to make them even better. So join me in the course. Go by and learn alongside me. Danny, I hope this is the best launch you've ever done, and I can't wait to get started and to share what the talents that I have with the world.
Joan, I'm really excited to work with you through the course. I am grateful for the opportunity to do this interview, and I'm grateful to everyone who's just been listening to this for the last. I don't have a watch nearby. I don't even know how long we've been going.
About a half hour.
Well, thank you for paying attention for the last half hour. It's been great, and I'm really excited to see a lot of you in the program.
Okay, I will see you, Danny, in the program. Thank you much.
All right, I think we're good to go. That was great.
Okay, very good. All right, I'm going to